What is up, my bendy people? In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about what kind of yoga blocks you need depending on your current flexibility level and your overall flexibility goals. I'm also going to be diving into the pros and the cons of both type of yoga blocks, so let's get into it. Why do I need yoga blocks, and do I actually need them? The simple answer is whether you are a beginner or you're very advanced in your flexibility journey, having yoga blocks is actually going to allow you to modify and also advance certain stretches. So yes, if flexibility is something that is very aligned with you, it's something that you want to get better at and you are committed to getting better at, then yes, absolutely order some yoga blocks ASAP Rocky. Now, what kind of yoga blocks should you get? Should you get Cork yoga blocks? Should you get foam yoga blocks? Well, the simple answer is if you're a beginner and you're just starting out in your flexibility journey, you are not mobile or you're kind of mobile, I would absolutely recommend investing in foam yoga blocks. So that was the short answer. Let's go into the long answer. I'm going to start to list out the pros and cons of both. So for foam yoga blocks, some of the pros are as followed. They are extremely lightweight, which makes them super great for traveling. And literally stick them in your carry-on. They're less than a pound. And that'll allow you to be way more consistent in your practice. Another pro is that the blocks that I'm going to recommend to you guys, the Guillaume, I think that's how you say the name, Guillaume. They're actually a bit heavier than some of your other foam block options, which makes them, as a beginner, better to use because it gives you a bit more stability as you're like setting up your extremities on the blocks. The last pro is that because of the makeup of the foam material, they're really soft and easy on the body. So if you're doing any block supported positions, including, puppy pose or frog pose, it's actually going to be much easier on the body as compared to the Cork blocks. So now that we've gone into all the pros of the foam blocks, let's go into some of the cons. Okay, the only cons I would say really is because they're so lightweight, if you're trying to practice arm balances, handstands, anything like that, they're not going to be stable enough for that, so you will not be able to practice with the foam blocks. Another con is when you're first starting out, especially if you're really tight, a lot of the times you end up holding tension in your fingertips. So you'll see on my foam blocks that there are tons of nail marks in them from when I was actively fighting demons in my earlier days as I was stretching. You'll probably end up needing to buy another pair eventually down the line, especially if you're very new. But other than that, foam blocks are definitely my first choice for a beginner. Now that we've discussed everything for foam blocks, let's go ahead and let's talk about the Cork block. So Cork blocks are much heavier in makeup. They actually weigh so much more than a traditional foam block, and that makes them great for exercises that are geared towards building strength. Another pro is because of the Cork heavy nature of these blocks, you get so much more stability. So if you do want to practice arm balances or anything like that, you could in a very safe manner. Lastly, because they are so sturdy, you'll only probably ever have to buy one set of Cork blocks in your lifetime because they're just really durable. So now that we've gone into all of the pros, let's talk about some of the cons. So the only cons I could really muster together is that the Cork blocks are more expensive than foam blocks, and they're typically sold in quantities of one, whereas you could buy the foam blocks in sets of two. Majority of the time you end up buying one Cork block at a time. So if you're going to order them, just be mindful of that you think you're getting two, but you actually get one, so just look out for that. Also, if you are trying to practice block supported stretches such as puppy or such as puppy or frog, it is going to be a bit harder on the body. It's not going to give you that same cushion and support that a foam block would. Now, with all of that being said, I personally have 2 sets of foam blocks and just one cork block. As you get deeper in your flexibility journey, as you get more comfortable working with props, you will eventually have enough blocks to build a wall that separates you from the outside world so you can just stretch all day in your apartment. When I first started, I only had 1 set of foam blocks. I used that for about 3 to 4 months before I actually bought my second pair and then later buying my cork block. Just to recap, foam blocks are super lightweight, makes them great for travel, and in my opinion are the best blocks for beginners. Cork blocks, on the other hand, are definitely more for someone who's a bit further in their journey, great for people who are looking to build active strength in their flexibility and also practice arm balances. Eventually, as you get so amazing and fantastic in your flexibility, you'll be able to have so many sets of blocks that you will be able to build a wall from you and the outside world. That is all I have for today's video. If you made it to the end of this video, please drop a comment below saying blocks for days, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this or if this was helpful in any way. Namaste, everybody, and have a great day.